Yeah.
You can't go. What do? You can't go saying things like that on our channel.
Why not?
Well, we'll lose subscribers.
We ain't gonna lose subscribers because it's true.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what then. How about we change it to who's the biggest bender?
That's even worse.
No, because we could do the biggest bender: Kev Talbot, Tomlin RC, or RC Kicks.
Ugh, whatever.
Okay, so if you're a regular to the channel, you will know that we absolutely love our RC car racing here on Popalong RC, and we race all sorts of things. We race trucks, buggies, cars.
Yeah.
We race absolutely
If it's
anything.
got wheels on it, we will race it.
We will indeed. But there's a few things we don't like about racing.
No, there is a few things we don't like about it. In particular, Carl, elaborate on what you said earlier. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Benders.
Yeah, benders.
Now, we don't like the word cheats.
No.
And strictly speaking, they're not cheating the rules. They are bending the rules.
Yeah,
Those of you that have been following us recently will know that we recently had a race with the TT02s. And now, everybody was running a stock car with a stock shell, stock electrics, control tyres.
Yeah.
And there was no room to bend those rules, was there?
You'd think.
You'd think.
Who are we going to start off with first then? Who
let's
are we going to name and shame first?
I think we should start with Tomlin RC.
Tomlin
Due
RC.
to the fact that actually he was the one pointing the finger before anyone else.
Yes.
He called us out as being
He called
cheats.
us out. We had a fan on.
We had a fan on the
merely
motor.
Calling the motor. There's no, you know.
I'll tell you what, and if anything, it actually draws a little bit of power away from the motor, so therefore makes the car go slower initially.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, it wouldn't. I mean, if it was to overheat, would it slow down if it overheated?
It would then, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, I don't really.
It's nothing.
Really.
So, that aside, before we even got in to the hall, he was talking about bits and bobs he'd done. He had taken a Dremel to parts of that car and modified it, and also.
What?
He had modified his shell and put a little rear wing on it.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, so
That's
and
bending
you know what?
the rules.
It's this shell. You know, it hasn't got a spoiler. That means it's not going to have the rear end grip. So having a spoiler, or you have a look at any racing class, any touring car, GT12, any of the cars, they all pass us that shell over. They all have a spoiler, and the reason for that is to improve the rear end grip.
That's
so
right. It's not for aesthetics. I mean, the faster the car goes, then you do need the spoiler. I remember going to a race meeting years ago. The spoiler came off, and the car could not get around. He literally binned off his race. Couldn't get it around.
exactly.
I always cheat.
So moving on to a slightly bigger bender,
Yeah.
and an even bigger spoiler.
Go
I
on.
think we need to talk about the main man, Kev Talbot.
The master of the benders.
Where do we start?
Where do we start? From the moment we got in the hall, what did we see, Carl?
Well, he wasn't running an Audi, was he?
No, he wasn't.
What was he running?
He was running a Porsche shell. Now, apparently, the rules stated, now I didn't know this, you could run any shell as long as it was a Tamiya shell. We didn't get told that.
No. And so he wasn't breaking a rule, but he was the only one that rocked up because he obviously gets a lot of money off his channel. He could afford to buy the best shell, and he bought one with a massive spoiler.
Massive spoiler.
So that was the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing, we had a control tyre, didn't we?
We had a control tyre.
And what were the control tyres?
They were the Contact A30s that we've had success with in the past with these cars.
Yeah. Did he run the control tyres?
No.
He ended up going to the control tyres because actually in that instance it was a bad choice for him.
It was.
But batteries. Now, if you run touring cars in the UK, you will know racing touring cars. We race 2S lipos.
Yeah, 2S lipos are, I would say, the sweet spot for the faster touring cars we run.
Yep, the GT12s that we featured on the channel quite a lot, 1S lipos.
So what was Kev running then?
He wasn't running a 1S.
Not a 1S.
He wasn't running a 2S.
Not a 2S.
He was running a 3S.
Running a 3S.
Unbelievable. Do you know what? I said he ran it in the first final, and I thought to myself, because I started 3rd on the grid, he started 4th on the grid, and I thought to myself, he's just going to do me from behind.
He's going to do you from behind.
Yeah, he's going to do me from behind, and he's going to take me out. And I got a lovely clean line. You and Vinny snaking through the tight turns. I followed on the same line. Talbot came through, absolutely ruined me, he did.
What can you do?
Unbelievable.
What can you do? So he was the biggest bender.
No, he wasn't.
Why?
There was another one there. And do you know what?
I believe this.
Vinny won on the day, didn't he?
Vinny won on the day.
He's not a bender. He's just a very good driver.
Yeah, that annoyed me. I checked his car out. I checked his diff out. I checked it. Nothing.
He was running a fan like us. But that's what us racers do, isn't it?
It's what we do.
But I think he should have the final word on this. So, in Vinny's words, who is the biggest bender?
The only one that's cheating is Gavin. I know his mum.
So there you go, Gavin. Now he was busy, wasn't he, with his modifications?
Yeah. Well, you see, the first thing we did when we got there is we checked the diffs, because if you don't know, if you stiffen up the diff on these TT01s and TT02s, they drive quicker around the corners. You gain loads of corner speed, don't you? So that's the main hop up you can do. And we checked Gav's diff, didn't we?
It was almost locked.
He
almost running a locked diff in there. Now he tried to blag that he used the oil in the bag.
What was all that about? He's a good liar, isn't he?
He is, and he was going, no, not me. The thick oil that it came with the in a little pot, and we were thinking there was none of that in our boxes. He was.
So what did he do? So he used that, and then
he also put, do you know those little earbuds you get for when you're on planes and stuff? He stuffed a couple of those in the diff to thicken it up, to stop the gears going round. So his diff was almost meshed and like just completely locked up.
What can you do?
But fortunately for us, he's not quite as good a driver as Vinny, is he?
No. It didn't work out for him.
It didn't work out.
I think he also dremeled some stuff off, didn't he?
He did dremel some stuff off, which gave him more steering. But what I actually did on mine is on my radio, I actually reduced the endpoints of mine. So he was trying to get more steering. We actually needed to take it down to make it more controllable in the turns. So cheaters never prosper, I think is the saying, isn't it?
So if you're thinking about it, don't do it. Well, I guess that sums up all the cheaters. You didn't do any
I didn't do
bending,
anything.
did you?
No bending whatsoever.
No bending whatsoever.
However.
Me? I
Yeah.
didn't do any bending.
I think actually you lied about it as well.
Whoa. Lied about what? My shocks are standard shocks.
You did have standard shocks.
The only grease in the diff was the kit dip, grease, which we said we could do.
All right, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Your diffs, they weren't locked up at all.
Tyres.
However, the tyres were stock.
Motor.
The motor was stock. Yeah. What powers the motor, boss?
Well, I was using a little shorty packs.
Those 7.6 volt shorty packs.
No. They weren't 7.6 volt. They were.
Do you know what?
7.4.
They were definitely 7.6 volt batteries because they're the ones out of my MTC I noticed you'd nabbed.
Yeah. Well, even if they were, they don't make any difference, do they?
You're such a bender.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean anyway.
Do you know what? I think you should be disqualified for that, which means Vinny takes the win as the best driver with a legit car, which promotes me up to second place. And everyone else, actually, that'll put Noah in third because I don't think he bent the rules one bit.
No, he didn't.
And the rest of you, DQ on scrutineering terms.
Yeah, but you got no proof.
We're all kind of benders, aren't we, really?
A bunch of massive benders.
We are. Some more than others.
Yeah, whatever. But it was good, wasn't it?
It was good. And do you know what? The TT02 actually is a great platform for anyone thinking about getting into racing. Now, if you're interested in the TT02, we are actually very soon, we're going to have a pop-along package on Rochester RC, which will be all the upgrades that we'd recommend to get this up and racing. So obviously for our race, we weren't allowed to make any changes, but the changes we would make would be the alley drive shaft, racing shocks, adjustable turnbuckles,
Gearing.
and actually the gearing set as well. So they're the main things that I would change. And a couple of other things that we would recommend if you're wanting to race a TT02. So in the not too distant future, check out Rochester RC, and there's going to be a couple of pop-along packages for you to select to get you racing on the track. And don't forget, add the discount code POPALONGRC to get an extra discount on your cars.
Yeah, do that. And like I said before, they don't charge you for postage or packaging, which I like.
I like that as well.
Yeah, we like that, don't we?
Anyway, you have been a busy man.
Yeah.
Fixing up that blah blah
Blah,
blah.
blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we're going to take that out.
Should we go do it? Let's go
Come
do
on,
some
let's go.
speed runs.
Let's go and smash it.